All right, yogis, let's start in a comfortable seat on the floor. You can prop yourself up. If you have a pillow, you can put it beneath the sits points just to lift the pelvis a little bit, lift the hips. And just start to feel those places of connection where the sits bones meet the floor. Maybe you close your eyes to go inside to be with yourself. And notice as your knees, your thighs are pulled by gravity down towards your mat. And then rest your palms on your knees. Press slightly away to lift up through the chest, to grow tall through the spine. And start to just expand with your breath, inhaling to fill up the rib cage, fill all parts of the lungs. And exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Okay, inhale again, breathe in fully. And exhale, sigh out the mouth. Okay, one more time. Inhale fully, fill up. And exhale, let go. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Feel the body soften as you exhale. And notice any places you might be holding tension in the body. See if you can breathe into those places. Keep a steady breath, breathing in through the nose and exhaling out the nose. Trying to expand as you inhale, lengthen the inhale. As you exhale, lengthen the exhale. And just notice what it's like to be present in this moment. What it's like to rest with yourself, to be here, showing up for yourself, for your mind and body. And our breath helps us to really connect to this moment. So if you feel yourself drifting at any point or wondering, the mind wandering, it's okay. Just gently bring it back to the breath. Take one more moment here, just breathing in silence. And today we're going to work on some back bends, some heart openers. So just really take this moment to notice what it's like to be in your body, to be aware and in touch with everything your body needs, and make a promise to yourself that you will honor that and listen and continue to be in tune with that. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center. You can let the fingers touch, maybe bow your head, chin towards the chest, and take this moment to set an intention for your practice. And once you've set that intention, you can slowly make your way onto your back. Plant the feet down on the floor and find the sacrum, the lower part of your back, press into the mat so your core turns on right away. Inhale, bring your shins parallel to the mat. Reach your fingertips up overhead. So we're taking some dead bugs here. Breathe in fully. As you exhale, left fingertips, right toes, reach towards the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, other side. And breathe with this. Inhale to center, exhale to release down to the floor. Inhale and exhale. Okay, we'll take 3 more. 2 and 1. You might feel the core turn on, bring the hands behind the thighs, start to roll up and down the spine. And just feel that massage all along the spine. Maybe you take a few rocks here. And then we'll meet in boat pose. Start with toes on the floor, roll the shoulders down the back. Start to open up the chest. Maybe think of yourself kind of reclining in like an airplane seat, but really find length through the spine so you start to feel the core turn on. And then you can start to tip back, bring the shins parallel to the mat. Keep the chest open, keep the core engaged. Reach fingertips forward. Palms face towards the sky. If you want a little more, you can try tapping one toe and then the other. This is going to bring a little engagement into the quads. And if you're feeling like you just want to stay still and honor whatever your body is telling you. Also option to straighten the legs if you want to work on lengthening through the hamstrings, through that strength in the legs. And breathe for 3. Stay with it for 2. And 1. Slowly make your way to tabletop. Roll over onto hands and knees. And spread wide through the fingers. Imagine you're like a frog and you have webbed fingers. And so you're spreading through all of those webs, pressing into the bases of the knuckles. And stack the knees underneath the hips. Press a little bit through the tops of the feet. We're just finding this foundation, this activation in our tabletop. Inhale for cow. Let the belly drop, chest open. Exhale, chin to chest for cat. And you know what to do here. Take the variations that work for you. If you want to start moving in circles, let the hips sinking back towards the heels and then coming forward, you can try that, or just stay with this cat-cow flexion and extension through the spine. Wherever you are, just move with the breath. Let your breath be your guide. Okay, one more of whatever you're doing, if it's circles or spinal movements here. And then find that neutral spine. So tailbone roots back towards the back of your mat, crown reaches forward. Okay, step that right foot back, start to rock back and forth through the heel to stretch out through the hamstring. We're really turning on the core right now because it's very important for our back bend practice. So I really want you to think about drawing the navel towards the spine, so drawing the belly button in. It's going to help you really protect your low back when we're doing a little more chest opening. Inhale that right heel towards the sky. Feel the right glute turn on. Press actively through the palms. Find that center line in your body. And think about hugging that inner thigh in towards that center line. And then reach the left fingertips forward. Find that balance. Press into the shin of the left leg to keep your balance here. And extend, exhale, elbow to knee. Feel the core turn on. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch in. Hold. And then inhale, reach forward. You can stay here in this balance, or another option is to reach for the outer edge of that back foot. Open up the chest, kick the foot into the hand. Find your gaze to keep your balance. Use your breath to stay focused, to stay in this moment. Nice opening for the shoulder here. And exhale, let go, plant the palm on the floor. And we'll take a cat-cow to rinse that away. Let the belly drop, chest open. And exhale, round through the spine. Okay, step those left toes back. Start to rock through the hamstring, back and forth. You might feel a nice sensation in the ankle. Really find movements that feel good. You can take variations of this or just start to explore. And then lift the left heel up to find that glute engagement. Hug into the center line, reach right fingertips forward, press actively through the top of the right foot. Okay, inhale, extend, grow a little longer. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Keep your balance. You can follow your gaze in one straight line as you move. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. We'll take one more, extend. This time, grab that right hand towards the left foot. Kick the foot into the hand and squeeze the inner thigh towards that center line as you take this back bend, this chest opener. So think about that knee not going out, but rather drawing in towards the other thigh. And breathe. 2 and 1. Hand comes back to the mat, knee to the mat. And let's all take a few circles just to warm up the knees and the ankles. So coming forward, feel through the palms, through the wrists. If the wrists are really sensitive, you can come onto fists right now. And just so you know, that wrist sensitivity can be combated by finding the right engagement in your hands. So just know that it will pass and that you will find a lot of strength actually through the palms, which will take that pain out of the wrist. Reverse your circles wherever you are. You're warming up the knees. If you hear a little snap, crackle, pop, it's totally okay as long as it's not painful. And I invite you next time you come forward, chest opens, to just take a moment here, engage the core. You don't need to drop the belly towards the floor, but find that engagement through the palms, open the chest, and feel the core turn on to protect the low back. Okay, exhale back to child's pose. Knees come out wide, hips back towards the heels. Just take a breath here. Notice what you've done so far. Thank yourself, thank your body. Breathe fully. Reconnect with that intention. Reconnect with the sense of balancing strength and ease. How can you balance between the right amount of engagement that's not painful, but it's still allowing you to grow? Okay, inhale forward, open the chest. You can try lifting the toes off, engage the core. Find a little back bend here. The hips are opening up. Exhale, press back. For these, really stay in tune with your body. If you feel a pinch in the back, you need to back off a little bit. So find the right version of this for yourself, tilting forward and reaching back. We'll take one more. Inhale forward. You can lift the toes just a little bit, let the belly drop, chest open, and exhale, hips back towards the heels. Okay, inhale, tabletop. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Walk the fingertips forward. Keep the hips where they are for puppy pose. Forearms come to the mat. Let the heart melt in between the shoulder blades. This is a great heart opener. It's quite a vulnerable position, as a lot of our back bends, our heart openers are. They can feel just really vulnerable, really open. So notice maybe the places in your life where you might want to be more vulnerable or more open and accepting. And a lot of these poses embody some of those emotions and feelings. So can you just breathe with them? Breathe with both the physical and the mental sensations. To find a little more sensation, press actively through the fingertips, root back slightly through the tailbone, press actively into the tops of the feet. You might find a little more stretch through the shoulders. And breathe. Inhale forward for Sphinx Pose. Press into the forearms, let the belly drop. Open up the chest, really spread the fingers wide again, thinking about those frog feet or hands. Press into the tops of your feet, the front of the hip points and the pubic bone press actively into the mat. So your chest is opening, but your shoulders are still drawing away from the ears. And actively press through the forearms. Imagine you're pressing away. Maybe even have an internal squeeze, forearms towards one another. There's really a lot of engagement through the arms, but just make sure this is comfortable for you in the spine. If you feel any pinching, let go a little bit, let the chest lower a little bit. Okay, it's not about lifting your chest as high as you can, but it's about finding the right amount of back bend for you. And really try to let the shoulders root down the back. And if there is a little bit of pain in the low back, try again pressing through the front of the hip points, the front of the pubic bone. That's going to engage the core, and that's what's going to protect your back. So always linking this core engagement to our back bends, really finding that. Okay, exhale, forehead to the mat. Walk the fingertips off your mat. You can bring elbows up. And then inhale, lift the chest. Look forward. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder, come to the mat. Find that shoulder opener. Inhale, lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, opposite elbow, opposite shoulder, opposite ear. And flow with this. Inhale, open. Exhale, one ear, one shoulder to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then inhale, lift last time. Forehead comes to the mat. Bring the palms alongside the body. Press actively into the palms. Press the pubic bone, the front of the hip points into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Just focus on the chest here. Allow the back body to turn on. Think about lengthening your crown forward instead of lifting your chest as high as you can. And then you can let the feet follow. Feet can lift off the floor. Reach fingertips back towards the toes. Maybe you find a little more lift in the chest. But again, think about this as a length and finding length from crown all the way down to fingertips. If you want to lift a little more, you can interlace fingers behind the low back. Lift the chest more. Keep your gaze forward. Breathe. Belly down, boat. Squeeze through the inner thighs, notice the glutes, and all the back body turn on. Breathe one more breath here. And exhale, let it go. Let one cheek rest on your mat. Let the body soften. Okay, we're going to roll over onto the left side. So you can bring that forearm underneath the shoulder here to kind of support you. And then grab onto your right ankle. So we're going to do a little bit of side dancer. This is a really nice way to open up the hips and find a little bit of back bend here too. So crunch in, nose towards the knee, doesn't need to touch. And then as you exhale, open up, find a little chest opener, kick back through the foot into the ankle. And move with this. Checking in with the spine, with the chest. Notice that stretch in the front body as you back bend. So whenever we engage one side of the body, we're also stretching that other side. Just noticing where you're engaging and where you're stretching. Take one more side dancer. Squeeze slightly in through the quads, through the inner thighs as you take this movement. Okay, we'll roll over onto the other side. I'm going to turn away from the video. I hope you can see me well. Grab onto left ankle, root down through that forearm, then open up the chest, kick back through the foot into the hand. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, open. And exhale, crunch in. So this really isn't about any core. I mean, there's core engagement in here, but think more about this as a way of finding That sensation through the hip, through the spine, that openness in the chest. So everything's working together to make this happen. So breathe with that. Okay, one more time. Open up and exhale, let go of the foot. Hands come back to the mat. Let's press up to plank pose. Press back through the heels, stack shoulders over your wrists, spread actively through the palms. Again, if you're having wrist sensitivity, you can come up onto your fists. Take a slight bend in the elbows so that you know you're not locking out through the arms. And press into the bases of the knuckles. This is that strength I was talking about in your hands that's going to take the weight out of your wrists and some of that sensitivity. Draw up through the core. Feel everything turn on. We're going to breathe here. For 3. For 2. And 1. Use your core to lift yourself up to downward facing dog. Press back through the heels. You can walk your dog one heel and then another down towards the floor. And then walk your toes towards your hands, forward fold. Let the head hang. You can grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. Just find what feels good here. And then we'll take a twist through the spine, root down through the right palm, bend the right knee, lift left fingertips towards the sky. You can bring that hand to the sacrum or that hip point, or reach the fingertips up high. And if the hamstrings are really tight, you can bend both knees. You'll feel this through the hips, through the chest, through the pecs, through the shoulder, through the hamstring. And breathe. Exhale. Both hands come to the mat. Root down through that other hand. Bend the left knee. Reach right fingertips up. Again, it can be down on the sacrum, or the fingertips can go towards the sky. And breathe with all sensations. Notice where you might be able to relax in the toes, in the face. So try to let the muscles engage that need to be engaged and let go what can be let go. Okay, let both fingertips reach towards the floor. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach fingertips up, chair pose. Exhale, fingertips reach back towards the hips, airplane arms. Inhale, reach up. We're staying with bent knees here. Hips are sinking. Exhale, fingertips airplane back. Take 2 more. Reach fingertips up. Exhale, airplane arms. 1 more. Exhale as you lower. And down for forward fold. Option here to interlace the fingers behind the low back. Reach fingertips forward for a little bit of a shoulder stretch. If that doesn't feel good, just let it go. There's no requirements here, just options. So you can take and leave whatever I offer you and know that that's okay. Okay, inhale, reach fingertips up towards the sky, Tadasana, Mountain Pose. Root down through all parts of the feet. Find your big toe mound, your pinky toe mound, and the base of the heel. Try to root your weight evenly through these parts of the foot. Reach actively through the fingertips. Grow tall. Feel a little bit of core engagement here. Think of your legs like tree trunks, strong, engaged. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, nice flat back, draw the core in. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back to plank, press back through the heels. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway down, elbows in towards the body. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift up through the hips. Press back through the heels. Inhale, right foot towards the sky, three-legged dog. Feel that stretch through the back of the left leg. Exhale, right foot in between the hands. For low lunge, inhale, lift fingertips up, crescent lunge. And walk that front foot out a little bit so you have the feet parallel to one another, so you're like on railroad tracks. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, open up the chest, look up, gaze comes towards the ceiling. And then exhale, elbows and palms meet one another. Bow forward. So we're going to take a few like this. Use your core, use your gaze to keep your balance. You can move slowly here. Exhale, elbows and palms meet, bow forward. Inhale, open, look up. Feel the heart open, exhale. Hands and elbows come together one more time. And when your hands and palms, your palms and your elbows meet, start to press into that front foot, lift off for warrior three. Gaze is forward, a few feet out in front of you. Root down through all part of that standing foot. Reach crown forward as you kick back through that left heel. It's okay if you're unstable here, just notice everything without judgment. Inhale, airplane the arms back, bend the knee, step back, crescent lunge, reach fingertips high. And breathe. And then exhale, spin out for warrior two. I'm going to change my position here just so you can see me. So right knee is forward, left foot is back. Left foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. Reach fingertips out. Gaze is over front fingertips. Check on that front knee. Make sure it's not toppling in, but press it slightly out towards the third or fourth toe. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle. Reach fingertips forward. Flow with this. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, side warrior. Or side angle, sorry. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, front forearm to front thigh. Reach fingertips forward. You can take circles through the arm here to open up the shoulder. And then inhale, lift up, warrior two. Straighten that front knee, but keep a slight bend, so slight micro bend. Inhale, start to reach forward. Reach forward, and then just turn the arms, open up the chest, gaze towards the ceiling. If that's not comfortable in the neck, just let it go. You can look towards the floor or out in front of you. Press actively through the feet. If this is really uncomfortable in the low back, try lifting up a little bit. You can even have the hand on the inner thigh, opening up the chest using the core here. You can also try bringing hand to heart. This can be kind of nice, just checking in with the self. Breathe. Inhale, bend the front knee. Reach fingertips out to the sides. Okay, we're going to transition into half moon here. So really start to root down through that right foot. Start to walk those left toes in. Bring weight into the right foot. Come onto the big toe of the left foot. And then just lift off like 2 inches. Keep your whole orientation towards the side. Gaze is out to the side. And then slowly, inch by inch, you can try to lower. Flex the back toes. And maybe you find balance. Maybe not. Just be observant of what you find here. See, I'm a little wobbly today. So just be gracious with yourself, graceful, wherever you end up. You can also use the wall or a table to help you balance here. Exhale, bend the knee, step back, warrior two. Turn all 10 toes to face the side. We're going to take this on the other side, so square the hips towards the front. Left toes are forward. Inhale, open up the chest. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, elbows meet, palms meet, bow forward. Inhale, open the chest, look up. Spread through the fingertips. Exhale, elbows meet, palms meet. Inhale, open. Exhale, close one more time. Really open your heart here. Exhale, elbow and palms meet. Bow forward. Start to bring weight into that left foot. Lift off through the right toes. Warrior three. You can keep the hands and arms where they are or try a different variation. Either airplane arms, hands to heart, or reach fingertips forward. Root down through all parts of that standing foot. Breathe. For 3, for 2, and 1. Step back, crescent lunge, reach up. Take a nice deep breath here, then spin out for warrior 2, bend that front knee. Inhale, peaceful warrior, tip back, back hand comes down the back thigh. Exhale, front forearm to front thigh, reach fingertips forward. Feel that stretch through the side body. This is super good for the low back. Inhale, back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle. One more time. Move with the breath. And then here, option 2, take circles with the arm. Come back to your breath. And then inhale, lift up, warrior 2, straighten that front leg. Try not to lock the knee, so keep a slight bend here. Inhale, reach forward for triangle. Again, if you found that and then you can revolve your arms, but if you found that the last pose was really hard in your low back, try to lift up a little bit. You can bring the hand to the inner thigh. And just think about revolving the chest. Imagine you're in between 2 panes of glass. And you'll notice this is actually quite strenuous. It's a core engagement. It's lengthening through the side body. And breathe. One more deep breath here. Exhale, bend the front knee, fingertips out to the sides. And then turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat. You can turn the toes in, heels slightly out. Okay, interlace fingers behind the low back. Inhale, open up the chest. Notice how the spine feels. Notice that stretch in the front of the chest. And exhale, start to bend forward. Reach the pinkies towards the front. If this is not what you're feeling it in the shoulders, you can grab a strap or a towel and just give yourself a little more space in between the shoulders, or just let the hands drop. So again, choose what feels good for you. And breathe. Try to focus on the breath. Maybe let the hip points reach a little higher towards the sky, let the head hang a little lower. You can let both palms reach down towards the mat. Find a place to relax here, so it can be with peace fingers around the big toes, or you can grab for the ankles. So find a place you want to stay for a few breaths. You can also bring a chair or blocks underneath the hands or forearms to keep a little bit of a straighter spine. This is your flow, so choose what works for you. Everyone, let's start to lift the chest. Find that nice long spine, nice neutral spine. Exhale, let the head hang. For wide-legged forward fold. We'll flow through the spine with this inhale, lengthen. Crown reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen last time. Start to walk the hands over to the right foot. Come into that side ninja lunge. Open up the chest. Reach fingertips high. And then exhale, start to walk to center. Open up on the other side. This is a nice heart opener, a nice hip opener. Can help with your mobility, your longevity. And if you want to bring a balance into this, you can try keeping the hands at heart center and just moving without touching the floor. A nice little challenge for you. And breathe, inhaling as you transition, exhaling as you sink deep. One more side. And then exhale both palms to center. We're actually going to come on to our sits bones. So we're going to do a nice wide-legged fold on the floor. You can bring your heels out to the corners of your mat. Lift up through the chest. Really find that length through the spine. And you might feel the core turn on here, needing to kind of engage to keep you up here. So really think about rooting down through the sits bones, lengthening through the crown. You can flex the toes, and then start to walk the fingertips forward slowly. And maybe your forearms come down onto the mat. Try to keep the chest open to lengthen through the spine. So we don't want to round the spine here, but rather think about hinging in the hips instead of hinging in the back. It's going to protect our back. So find a place you want to rest here and breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Start to walk the palms back to the body. Bring the legs together, and then we'll come back into tabletop to transition through to downward dog. Lift the hips, press heels back, root down through the palms, and walk the feet towards the hands for forward fold. Let the belly come towards the thighs, let the head hang. Let the head be heavy, let the shoulders relax. You can grab opposite elbows, rock side to side, and just be with yourself here. Where can you let go of control? Where you might be holding emotionally, mentally, physically. Can you release those things here? Some of the work we do here on the mat can transform parts of our lives, so really try to be present with that. And find new questions here on your mat that you'd like to explore. Okay, inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath, hands can come over your heart, notice your heartbeat. And then hands come to belly, notice your breath. And just taking these moments to really be with yourself, be present. Okay, I'm going to turn my orientation towards you so you can see me. So start to root down through the left leg. We're going to take some balancing poses here. So start to root down through the left leg. You can bring hands to the hips. Start to bring that right foot into the right calf for tree pose. Press out slightly through the knee. Lengthen through the torso. Let the hands root down towards the floor. Or you can start to grow your tree, reach fingertips up overhead. And breathe. If you'd like a little more of a challenge, you can bring foot into the inner thigh, or you can try half lotus, so letting that foot, if you can balance, let that foot come up to the hip crease You need to press actively through the foot to stay here. So this can be a little tricky to get. But yeah, do check in with the hips. If that doesn't feel good, let it go. Reach fingertips up overhead wherever you are. And you can always adjust. See, for me, this is just not what my body wants right now. So adjust to where your body wants to be today. And you can choose the type of tree you want to be. It can be a cactus, Christmas tree, or dancing tree, or palm tree. So whatever speaks to you. Root down through the foot, grow a little taller through the crown, through the fingertips, and then exhale, let go. Root the feet down, shake it out. Okay, root down through the right foot, and start by bringing that foot into the calf. Press out through the knee, find the hip here. And then you can stay here, find your balance, find your gaze. Look at one point on the wall that's not moving, and breathe. Send your breath there. If you want to move up, you can bring that foot into the inner thigh. Just avoid your knee. Don't want to press on the knee here. Find your balance and notice if it's difficult to balance today. And maybe that's telling you about some places of balance you might need to find in other parts of your life. So just notice that and maybe inquire, follow that inquiry. You can grow your tree, reach fingertips up overhead, and make this tree your own, your favorite tree. If you want to challenge the balance here, you can close the eyes or look up to the ceiling. Again, half lotus is also an option on this side if you would like to take it. Breathe. These balancing poses are really great for concentration, for reconnecting with the breath, for focus. So use this moment to reconnect. Exhale, hands come to hips. Let that foot come to the floor, shake it out. Okay, we're going to take dancer's pose next. There's a few variations of this, so I really want you to check in with yourself. This can be quite a challenging balancing posture, and also really be careful with your back. So we're really going to focus on that core engagement. It's going to protect our back in these back bends. But this can be really, really nice for the spine and opening through the chest. Okay, start by rooting down through the left leg. I'm going to move to the side so you can see a little better. Root down through the left foot. And then inhale, just start to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Take a little pull of the knee towards the chest. You can flex the toes, take some ankle circles. So just tune in with your balance here. Try to root down through all parts of the left foot. And then grab that right ankle. Take that quad stretch first. Find the core engagement. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Squeeze the inner thighs together. A slight squeeze. It doesn't have to be intense. But think about drawing the inner thighs towards one another. This is going to protect your knee and keep that knee in line, because sometimes we like to go out like, whoa. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep those thighs in one line towards the center line. So find that squeeze. Then you can move your hand to the inner arch if that feels okay. Keep the squeeze through the thighs. Reach left fingertips up overhead. Bicep is right by your ear. Press the foot into the hand, and you can start to tip forward. Maybe this is your dancer today. You don't need to go further than feels good. So find the place of steadiness and breathe. This is open, this is strong, and you are open, you are strong. Maybe you go a little deeper, and then exhale with control, let go. Wow, I haven't done that one in a long time. So I need a little shake through the body. It might feel really nice. Let that go. The reason I chose back bends is because I find when I'm working from home, I'm slouching over a lot. So this is a really, really good practice to do just when you're feeling it a lot in your spine, the whole work from home thing. Yeah, it can be a lot. So we'll find the other side. So root down through the right foot. Lift the left knee in towards the chest. Take those ankle circles first. Breathe. And then you can grab the ankle, take the quad stretch, find the inner thighs squeeze towards one another. So these subtle sensations, these subtle engagements are really going to be the big changes we make in our yoga practice. So usually the big muscle groups are really easy to find. We find them in other workouts and other things, but this little core engagement you're making here, this slight squeeze in through the thighs, this is what's going to protect a lot of your joints, your back in the long run. So just really be curious about that and think about these sensations sometimes. Okay, bring the hand to the inner inner arch. Reach fingertips up, start to kick back into the foot, and the hand presses into the foot. Lift up through the heel. Gaze on one point. And breathe easy. Breathe fully. Dancer's pose. If you're wobbly here, it's okay to come out and try again. Oop. Sometimes we fall. It's okay. Come back. Come back to the breath. Come back to your focus. Look forward. Inhale, start to lift up. Let the foot come to the floor. Shake everything out. Okay. Start to bring the toes wide, heels in. Squat down for Yogi Squat. You can lift the heels one at a time. Kind of start to feel into the hips. We're going to do a few up and downs here. This is really good for, it's actually a sign of vitality, of longevity, is being able to get up off of the floor when you're down on the floor. So we're down on the floor. We're going to try a few times lifting up through the hips. You can keep the palms down on the floor and just press up through the hips. Let the head hang. And then exhale down for your squat. And press through the feet, lift the hips, hang the head, exhale down. Rock side to side. One more time. You can try without using your hands. Lift up and exhale down. This time sinking in. Let the elbows press the knees out. Maybe your heels come down on the floor. If you have something to lift up the hips with, like the blocks, you can use them. Press actively through the palms. Inhale, open up the chest to one side. Open your heart. Feel that stretch through the front body. Exhale. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, open up. Other side. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take one more on each side. And then plant your hands on the mat, one hand in front, one hand behind. And you can come onto your sits bones, but we're going to come into camel. So come into hero's pose to start off. So sitting back onto big heels. And we're just going to find our breath here, preparing for what is, it can be a pretty intense back bend. So I really want to take a moment of mindfulness, connect with your breath, connect with your body so far, and maybe make a promise to yourself that I will not go further in this than feels good. And with that being said, you can start to lift the hips off the heels. And we're going to find that similar quad engagement that we found in Dancer's Pose. You can just keep the hands on the hips, and maybe you tuck the toes under. That feels good. I want you to think about squeezing in through the inner thighs. Draw the core in. Find these subtle engagements. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe. And we're staying in the neutral spine right here. Just finding these places in the quads, that place in the core. Okay, slowly you can bring hands to the low back. Start to draw the elbows towards one another. Gaze can start to look up towards the ceiling. Think not about pressing your hips forward, but that you're gonna lengthen up and over like a big ball or a fence. Start to look up and exhale, hips back towards the heels. Let everything go, really being gentle here. So we're starting with small movements, and we're going to work our way to a deeper back bend. Take a full breath here. Inhale. Exhale, empty out. Lift up again. You can tuck the toes under. Hands come to the low sacrum. We'll take another one. Squeeze the inner thighs first. Try not to totally squeeze your glutes here, but feel a little bit of engagement. Draw in through the core, and then draw elbows together. Start to open up the chest. Look up. Maybe you feel a little stretch in the front body. If you feel any pinching in the back, come up. Let it go. You don't want to feel pain here. If you feel pain, think about up and over rather than press your hips forward. Okay, exhale, let it go. Sit back on your heels. Breathe. Okay, this last time we're going to take the fullest variation of Camel Pose. If one of these other ones was working for you and felt good through the chest, felt good through the spine, just stay there. I really want you to honor your bodies. Inhale, lift up, tuck the toes under. You can start with hands at the low back. Squeeze the inner thighs, draw the core in, feel that core engagement, and keep that core engagement as you open the chest. Draw the elbows together. Look up. Okay, you can start to reach those right fingertips up and over like a circle. Reach back for the right heel. The heels are lifted. Inhale, left fingertips reach up and back for that left heel. Open through the chest. If you want, you can let your neck hang. That's going to feel different for everyone. Doesn't feel good. You can look forward. Camel Pose. Breathe. Open through the throat, through the front body. Draw through the core. Okay, slowly bring that left hand to the left low back. And right hand to the right low back. And let the hips come back onto the heels. Hands come onto thighs. Really let that go. Oh, that can be a really vulnerable, scary place to be. So come back to yourself. Notice what that felt like. Maybe you found new sensation. Hopefully you honored your body in what level it wanted to go. That stretch is really, really good for the spine. If you can do it mindfully after a long day of work, it is just so good for kind of getting rid of some of the tension we hold in our spine. Okay, inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist to one side. A nice counter stretch for the spine. Inhale, exhale, other side. Breathe fully. And then exhale, just let the belly melt over the thighs, let forehead come to the mat. Fingertips can come back towards the toes. So this is a little more of an introverted, introverted child's pose. Let the whole top body relax. Let the belly relax on the thighs. Let the knees relax, the shins relax. And notice how you feel. Breathe. Okay, slowly start to peel up. Bring the shins out to the sides. Come back onto the sits bones. Actually, we're going to take pigeon. So I lied. Come back onto hands and knees. And we can just come into this from hands and knees. If you want to come in through down dog, you can. But just bring that right knee into the right wrist and start to walk those left toes back. So left toes reach back as far as they can. Find that openness in the left hip. Walk that right foot over towards the left hip. So shin is coming across the body. Keep a slight flex in the toes. Inhale, open up the chest. Gaze forward. And find this openness before you start to come forward. Before you start to walk the palms forward. Maybe you can even walk the hands back towards the body a little more. Look up towards the sky. Find that back bend. That openness in the chest. If there's pain, let it go. And then exhale, start to fold over the body. Feel that stretch through the hip. You can bring the forehead to the mat. You can prop up here. You can rest on your forearms. Take what you need to find the most productive stretch for you. If you go too far, it's not productive anymore. It's going to cause injury. So find a place that's still going to work for you. And breathe fully. Our hips are where we keep our emotions. Sometimes they like to bury down deep in our tissues. Just notice what might come up here. And can you breathe and observe without judgment? Take 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale fully. Inhale fully. Exhale, start to walk the palms back towards the body. You can lift the chest. Walk that right knee back. You can come up through down dog if you like. Take a 3-legged dog. Do whatever you need. And then left knee comes towards left wrist. Walk that left foot across the body towards the right hip. Walk the right toes back to find that space in the front of the hip flexor. Inhale, lift up onto tended fingertips. Look forward, open the chest, draw shoulder blades together, and maybe you start to look up towards the ceiling. And keep this openness. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, start to fold forward. Forehead or forearms, whatever wants to come to the mat can come to the mat. It can even be palms if this is enough stretch in the hip. By all means, take it. So find what feels good for you. Pull back slightly through that left glute. Draw that left glute slightly back. And you'll feel that stretch intensify a little bit. And breathe into this moment. Breathe fully. Balance, strength, and ease. Let go through the face. Let go through the top half of your body, through the shoulders, through the wrists, through the forearms, through the fingers. Let the body start to relax. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, start to walk fingertips back towards the shin. Open up the chest one more time. And then slowly come on to your seat, lower down onto your back. Plant the feet. Let the fingertips just graze the backs of the heels. We're going to take floating bridge. Inhale, lift up through the hips, press through the palms. You don't need to go all the way here. Exhale, lower down. We're going to move with this, flow with this. So inhale to lift slightly. Feel the quads engage. Exhale, lower. Squeeze slightly through the quads as you lift. And exhale, lower. You can start to lift the hips a little higher. Maybe bring the shoulders underneath you. Interlace the fingers if you like, beneath the low back. You can keep flowing with this or stay in a static bridge pose. Roll the shoulders underneath. Lift the hips high. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And breathe. For 3. For 2. And 1. Let go. Let the knees knock in. Let the hands come to belly. Feet out wide. This is so good for the back. Just thank yourself for showing up today, being present with the breath and the body. Okay, bring the knees out wide, feet, soles of the feet together. And you can let this be your final resting posture. If there's anything else you'd like to take to finish off your practice, maybe it's a supine twist, bringing the knees over to one side and taking a twist through the spine, you can do so. You can take happy baby, shoulder stand. I wish I could teach everything, but this video has a time limit. And then wherever you are, start to settle into Shavasana. Whatever that looks like for you, your final resting posture. And just start to let go.